Greetings, sports fans. Welcome back to Edivision, the channel where we look at sports differently. As you can see in the title, we have a lot to talk about. I have a special guest with me today to kind of chop it up a bit. Lion Boss, former assistant coach for the Reggae Girls, former national coach for beach football. Yes, beach football. And he wears a lot of hats. We can't get into it all at once. Coach Andrew Price, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Eddie Gooden.
Yeah, respect. We're going to dissect the U20. Not something positive to talk about, but we crashed out at the quarterfinal stage at the hands of Damre, going down 1-0, losing an early goal, and we could not find the equalizer to even send it to extra time. What went wrong for the U20 Reggae Boys overall, in your eyes?
A lack of preparation. I think our preparation was definitely inadequate, and as a result, we weren't prepared for the rigors of a tournament. As you watched our games and their progress, you noticed that we got better and better as we played our games. So we were actually getting the team to gel together in a competitive nature
Agree.
while playing games. We had no opportunity to have games
Practice games prior to
the tournament where we could have had practice matches, international practice matches to get the youngsters ready. And I just think we were inadequately prepared.
A big issue throughout the tournament was the captaincy. Any thoughts on that? We saw it with young Pearson and then it being moved to the goalkeeper Kanaya. Any thoughts on the captaincy? Did it play a huge part in terms of leadership on the pitch?
I don't think so. I don't think it played any part. I think the team was just not equipped to deal with the demands of that tournament. I mean, if you look at our games progressively against Costa Rica, we were second best throughout that game, but we fought with some amount of resilience, and we were able to find an equalizer very late through a penalty.
Yeah.
The next game we played against Honduras, and they outclassed us in the modern water on a very terrible pitch. The game shouldn't have really been played. But the fact of the matter is that two teams played on the same pitch, so we should have made the necessary adjustment. But we were always second best throughout that game. Then we played Antigua, and we beat them 2-0, a game that we were expected we earmarked to win.
Yeah.
And then we moved into the round of 16 to play against Haiti. Now, playing against that Haiti team, who, in my opinion, was a better team than us. I think Haiti lost their heads and lost two players in the game. So they had two red cards. And even with two red cards, we didn't really show any form of dominance. So I think it was fortuitous for us to get to the quarterfinals. Now, getting to the quarterfinals, we came up against a very good Dominican Republic team who seemed to have been together for a long period of time. They had great chemistry, great understanding. They played with calm and composure. They moved the ball around very well. They were very creative, and they broke our lines very often. And getting that early goal in the first 10 minutes, we didn't look as if we wanted to press high to get back into the game. We sat back and we allowed the Dominican Republic team to do as they felt like. And I think they totally outclassed us in that game.
Speaking about allowing Damrep to do what they like, was Fuzzy Marcel Gill at his best throughout the tournament? What would you say about his performance as a coach?
I don't want to blame the players or the coaches for what took place down in Honduras. I think that the lack of preparation really affected them. And, they were basically dealt a hand that they had to play with. And I think even the coach and the coaching staff were getting to know the players throughout the tournament and getting to understand the chemistry that would be required to deal with the games as they came. So, they were always at a disadvantage going down there. We look at the problems even in traveling down to Honduras, where, they were in Mobile for almost 48 hours before they actually left. So, there were a lot of situations that didn't lend to proper preparation, both mentally and physically for the team.
But on a tactical standpoint, and also in terms of picking the best 11, would you say that Marcel knew his best 11?
That's what I alluded to before, because he didn't have much time with the preparation of the team. he wasn't aware of the consistency that was required in selecting the best 11 out there. Because at some games, a lot of players who I expected to stand up didn't stand up and show. So, you know, every game he had to look at the players who were most prepared for that game to play them.
Any positives to take away from our field qualification?
Well, one of the good things is that what we have to do is try and keep this team together because, you know, they will be hopefully some of these individuals be a part of our next World Cup campaign. And, you know, what we need to do is see how much we can keep this team together. And, you know, the sad thing about it is if we had these youngsters training for in excess of 9 months, we'll be in a better position. And again, for our local players, what we do, we continuously try to use schoolboy football as the platform to establish our youth programs. And, you know, you can't use 2 to 3 months of football to do that. When you're selecting elite players to play for Jamaica, they must be in training for a minimum of 9 to 10 months out of the year. So we have to have them constantly in training, constantly playing competitions, constantly playing weekly so that they can continue to improve over a period of time. But, you know, just to pick up a team based on some of the players that we saw in the schoolboy football, some players that we saw overseas and were recommended and came to camp and then decided that we're going to put together a 23 that is going to be physically and mentally prepared to get to the World Cup. I mean, look at Dominica Republic. They are now not only into the World Cup, but they have qualified for the next Olympics. And let me tell you something. It took a while for Dominica Republic to get where they are. And they have been doing some serious work in their FA, has been doing serious work in developing their infrastructure, serious work with grassroots programs to get them where they are. They played Jamaica twice in female youth tournaments that were hosted in Dominica Republic, and the 2 times they eliminated us. So they must be doing something well in that country for them to be so successful. And I'm going to be very honest, I wasn't surprised the manner in which they played Jamaica in that quarterfinal game.
Yeah, definitely. And I agree, you touched on it a bit. We're up against our competitors are players that are in professional setups, you know, playing with teams. And, you know, we as I say, we just play a little Money Cup couple months and that's it. It's not enough time for the players to really develop and gel.
Definitely not. And you can see the talent, you know, the players have the talent, but they have to train on a consistent basis, week in, week out, where they're trained together. They come together as as players and develop camaraderie, understanding, and chemistry. You know, exactly what that Dominican Republic team looked like. They looked like a well-oiled machine. I mean, at no time during the game did Jamaica really trouble Dominica Republic until the last 10 minutes, where we made a number of changes and freshened up the team, and we ran at them because we know we needed to get a goal. But throughout the entire contest, they looked very calm, very at ease. They were able to move the ball. They had a system of play that they understood. Their central defenders were very, very composed. They were able to make telling tackles. They were able to move the ball from left to right. And they looked like a well-oiled machine.
We have persons in the media, and I'm going to throw a hard ball at you. I don't want you to leave it alone. We have persons in the media saying that the national team should be coached by foreigners. They don't want to say anymore local coach. As a local coach, what are your thoughts on this?
Look, once you have the requisite courses that local coaches can do, we have local coaches who can coach a national program. All we have to do is give them the opportunity to go to these courses and take these courses, whether you do the courses here in Jamaica or do the courses overseas. But it is tantamount of the federation to provide these courses to ensure that we start to improve our players. And one of the things that we are not seeing, and it's going to haunt us for a long time until we get it right, is that we have to start having good qualified coaches at our grassroots and youth levels so that we can improve them. So when they matriculate from that young age, they have developed the rudiments of the game and are technically correct, so that when they travel through the various age groups and go up onto the national program, they are already set in stone what is required for a national player, especially if you're an elite player. But we have to start doing it at the grassroots level. I'm talking about the ages from 9 to 12, which are the formative years where we have to start developing all the proper technical skills and attitudes of these players. But like I said, there's an overdependence for too long now of our Manning Cup and the Costa Cup, our schoolboy football, to choose our elite players. These players must be attached to clubs, must be attached to academies where they can be constantly playing throughout the year and they can be constantly developing their form.
Yeah, man, well said. Now moving on to something that I know you love dearly, the Reggae Girls.
Yes.
They've been drawn in a really group of death, against Mexico, Haiti, and the big bad USA. As you can see on the screen, this is the squad that is in Mexico at this time. What are your thoughts on the squad on a whole?
No, the squad is a balanced squad. I believe that with the amount of professional players that we have, it's a much stronger unit than we used to qualify for the 2019 World Cup in France. And I believe that a lot of the experience that we garnered from that qualification will also help the players. And, we have a slew of professional players from England that have been introduced in the squad, and they'll make the squad an even stronger squad. The only problem I have, which I've had with a lot of Jamaican teams in the past, is that there's inadequate preparation.
My issue is no Tiffany Cameron. I'm a big Tiffany Cameron fan. She's not in the squad for reasons I don't know why.
I hear that she's injured. I heard that she wasn't 100% fit.
Okay.
And that was one of the reasons why she wasn't included in the team.
All right. Thanks for the clarity.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of 1 to 10, what are our chances of qualifying from this top group in your eyes?
In my eyes, to be quite honest, I believe that we have a 7 out of 10. I mean, when you look at the zone, though it's the group of death, the top 2 teams in the group qualify directly to the World Cup, and the third place team in each group has an opportunity in the intercontinental playoffs. So I believe that Jamaica has a good chance as any to be at least in the intercontinental playoffs. And if they play true to form with the type of players that we have available, I think the first game will be the big test against Mexico. If we can get by Mexico, then we should be able to at least come second in the group. Failing that, then we must target beating Haiti in one of those games. And if we try and beat Haiti, then we'll at least ensure that we get that intercontinental playoff spot. So it's a very difficult group. You'd have wanted an easier group, but you have to play who is in front of you.
Sadly, Vin Blaine walked away from the team. I didn't hear your thoughts on that in the papers or anywhere else. That whole saga there. If you can go into it a little bit.
I really can't go into it because that is something between himself and the players. I wasn't there. I wouldn't be able to make any form of comment on it because I don't know what took place. I wasn't in the camp, any of the camp, so I really don't know what took place. And it's just an unfortunate situation, but it is what it is, and decisions have been made, and they have made alternative arrangements. They have brought in Lorne Donaldson now to finish the program. So it is what it is.
Nice segue into the new coach, Lorne Donaldson. I know you've spent some time with him in the setup in 2019. Yeah. Who is Lorne Donaldson? What type of coach is he? Because he's very difficult to get interviews from. So what type, tell the Jamaica public, what type of coach is Lorne Donaldson?
Lorne Donaldson is a good coach. He has been coaching for years. He has his academy in Colorado, Real Colorado. So, he's an experienced coach. He has coached many players, both male and female, who have made the U.S. national team. Several of his players will be playing against in the very group that we have been drawn in Mexico, because a lot of them came from the Real Colorado stable. So he knows a lot of the players, and he knows what to expect. So he's a good coach. He has been coaching for years, very experienced, and he has the ears of the player and the respect of the player. So I expect that, you know, in this interim position, he should do a good job.
What would you say is Jamaica's biggest strength?
Our biggest strength, I think, is our athleticism. You know, we're very fast, we're very speedy. You know, I'm happy to see Denisha back into the team. You know, she had an injury and she was out for a while. So getting Denisha back in the team has really assisted the team. You know, we have Khadija Shaw, you know, Jade Bale. We have a lot of good quality players, and, you know, the coach has some options. And for tournaments like this, you're going to have to do a lot of rotation. And I believe that he has the requisite amount of players where he can do some amount of rotation. But of course, our linchpin will always be Khadija Shaw, you know, our goal scoring prowess. So, you know, she will definitely carry the charge. You know, there's Havana Salone, a very skillful player. You know, it's a type of player that can open up a sardine tin. You know, she's very, very good on the ball. She has good vision. You know, she can dribble well. You know, so, you know, having players like those, you know, Chinilu Asha, another good player. You know, they're good set of players out there, and I believe that with application they can go out there and do a good job.
Last but not least, could you put 11 together? Your 11.
Well,
for the Mexico game.
Well, for my 11, I would go with the Becky Spencer in goal. I would put Denisha Blackwood at left back, at right back. I would have Shashana Campbell. I would have the two Swaby sisters playing central defense. I'd probably have Havana Salone in there with the new Tottenham Hotspur player. And out wide, I would have people like Trudy Carter. I'd have Trudy Carter out there. Jade Bailey could fit into our midfield.
Jody Brown.
Yeah, Jody Brown playing one of the flanks out wide, you know. And, you know, you have Maya Gray, who's also a very good player, just coming back, who could be out there. But there are slower players that could be out there for the first game. And it all depends on the type of fitness levels, because they have gone through an intense 2 weeks. So it depends on how they get through these 2 weeks to see who is going to be, you know, part of that starting lineup to go against Mexico come July 4th. But I believe that we have the requisite amount of players that can go out there and get the job done.
All right. Thanks a lot. I want to thank Coach Andrew Price for joining me in the studio today, you know, chopping up the U20 campaign as well as the upcoming World Cup qualification with the national senior reggae girls team. Thank you very much again, Andrew Price.
Thanks for having me.
All right. There you have it, fans. Andrew Price. You know, always a man of many words, you know, and he's not afraid to talk. So if you like the video, drop a like, drop a comment as well. Let us know about the team that Andrew Price picked. Does it share similar qualities to your team? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Always remember, like, share, and subscribe.